focus on the corpse flower. So this guy, an Arum or corpse flower, is heading into the home stretch for its multi-year journey from corm to flower. Here's a quick look at how much it's grown since December. Eventually, it'll turn into that, smell like rotting meat, and attract flies for pollination. I'm sure to make another video when that happens. Indoor nature coming at you.
I know how much you all loved my last video of the San Diego Botanical Gardens, and today I'm back again for a very exciting reason. The same reason all of these people are lined up here, and that is to see the elusive corpse flower bloom. It can take up to 10 years for the corpse flower to bloom, so that's why it's such a big deal when one finally does bloom, and the San Diego Botanical Garden has two. However, only one is currently in bloom. So, why is it called the corpse flower, you may ask? Well, that is because of the disgusting smell that it emits. Some people have compared the smell to rotting fish, smelly diapers, stinky feet, or a dead body, hence the name corpse flower. This one is named Jack Smellington, and it bloomed on Halloween. When the flower finally does bloom, it only lasts for 24 to 36 hours, so you have to be fast when one does bloom to see it and smell this amazing and bizarre, humongous flower. The second one will bloom at any week now, so head over when you can.
As night descended, the dormant giant of the plant kingdom for a decade slowly emerged from the ground. A decade in the making. 10 years in preparation. It wasn't a trunk nor leaves, but the world's largest flower bud. As it grew day by day, a massive pointed bud emerged from the developing blossom's center, reaching heights of up to 3 meters. When darkness enveloped the forest, the queen awakened. She unfurled a cloak as vivid as fresh blood. This large bract is called the spada, resembling a trumpet formed by clasped hands, green on the outside and red within, looking like raw flesh. From the first appearance of the bud to full bloom, it takes about 6 weeks, but the flowering period is extremely short, lasting at most 2 days before wilting. Such a large-scale blooming period can only be sustained for 48 hours. This brevity and the rarity of the species add endless mystique to it. This astonishing plant is the Titan Arum, referred to as the corpse flower in The Ghost Blows Out the Light. However, in the novel, the corpse flower emits a beguiling fragrance, while the real-world Titan Arum gives off the stench of a decaying corpse. In the center of its massive spada stands a hollow, fleshy spike, resembling a giant chimney, continuously emitting a foul odor. Moreover, it heats up, with temperatures reaching 37 degrees Celsius, as warm as a mammal's body. Beautiful and alluring exteriors often have deceptive intent. In this case, it's to attract its pollinators, carrion beetles. The Titan Arum is a monoecious plant, with male and female flowers located at the base of the spike. To avoid inbreeding depression, it has evolved a unique sexual reproduction strategy. First, the Titan Arum prepares its female flowers, making them sticky. Then, it uses the emitted foul odor to attract scent-loving flies. These flies may carry pollen from another Titan Arum and brush it onto the female flowers. Several hours later, the male flowers release pollen threads, some of which fall onto the female flowers. But by that time, the female flowers are no longer receptive. The remaining pollen sticks to the flies, and they transport it to another Titan Arum, starting its next reproductive cycle.
Let's talk about Titan Arums before they go dormant for the season. I know this little guy doesn't look like much, but this is actually the world's largest inflorescence, or most people call this the corpse flower. There's one at the Missouri Botanical Garden right now. So this is in the area, so it's related to peace lilies and monsteras and, all of those house plants. But what's really cool is that this is one leaf. Those 3 branches are actually just one leaf. And all of those are leaflets. These guys take years and years to bloom because they have to generate enough energy to get down into their corms in order to produce that massive flower. And they get bigger every year. So this guy is maybe 2 years old, and this guy, he's going dormant. He's maybe 4 years old. And I swear, these guys just came up like a month ago, so they come and go really, really quickly. This is Amorphophallus titanum, or the Titan Arum, or the world's largest inflorescence, or a corpse flower. Corpse flower is kind of a generic term for all flowers that smell really bad. I can't wait for these to get big and bloom one day.
This is called the corpse flower or the Titan Arum, and it's a plant that we've been working on for the last 16 years. It's endemic to the Sumatran rainforest, and it's the only place that it occurs, and it's actually endangered in the wild. And back in 2006 we received 3 seeds, which we then germinated and have grown on. And from those 3 seeds we've actually flowered it 11 times. But the more exciting thing with this one is actually this is the first one that we've actually flowered from our own propagation. The reason that it actually smells, it can't pollinate itself, so it actually needs to bring insects from a different flower on that first night. It's almost like a dead rat sort of smell, but it's also, a lot of people reckon it's like a dead fish or rotten cheese. And now we have more than 100, and this is the first one of the 100 that's come into flower for us. So in future years, we're really excited that we may have multiple flowerings most years.
This flower is trying its best to be a dead animal. The corpse flower, aka the Titan Arum, is from Sumatra, Indonesia, and is known for a few things. Number 1 is its huge size. The spike, or spadix, this part right here, can range from 6 to 12 feet tall. It's also the largest unbranched inflorescence in the world, which means the flower's arrangement doesn't branch out and stays on a single main structure. In this case, it's called the spike. Number 2 is that it rarely blooms. It can take years before the corpse flower gathers enough energy to bloom between cycles. And when it does bloom, it only comes out to chill for a few days before withering up. So it's a good thing that it has a lifespan of 30 to 40 years. 3, it has a disgusting smell. When it blooms, its spadix heats up to the temperature of a human body, which then emits odor. Researchers think that the flower is trying to trick pollinators into thinking it's rotting meat. The stench is reportedly like if you mixed rotting fish, rotting onions, and old sweaty socks, and it has the deep red color of blood. While there are now more than 90 botanical gardens around the world that are cultivating the Titan Arum, it's not doing so well in the wild. The IUCN categorizes the plant as endangered and says there are likely fewer than 1,000 corpse flowers left in Sumatra due to habitat loss and human collection.
Wow, I just went to see the corpse flower. It was epic. Can't even imagine evolution made such a thing, but I'm impressed as usual with any flower, but especially this one, and it was a treat to see. It's the only one in Indiana, it's in Bloomington, and I made a special trip to see it. It's worth it. If you ever get a chance, check out the corpse flower.
Before the rest of them go dormant for the season, I wanted to talk about the Titan Arum. Now, if you know what a Titan Arum is, you're probably like, that doesn't look like a Titan Arum. Well, this is a baby Titan Arum, Amorphophallus Titan. I think that's the species. But this is an Araceae, and it is a corpse flower. It's one of many corpse flowers. Corpse flowers is kind of like a generic term for flowers that smell like shit. But this is actually the world's largest inflorescence, which is different than a flower, but it's in the same plant family as Monstera, peace lily, and duckweed, which is the world's smallest flower. So this plant family is just really freaking cool. And the Amorphophallus Titan Arum is the largest inflorescence, and you'll see botanical gardens have like cameras on them for days to watch them bloom because they bloom so infrequently, because it takes like a decade for these guys to get enough energy down into their corms in order to produce a flower.